As I'm recording this, we're just a couple of months away from Apple launching macOS 26, also known as macOS Tahoe, to the general public. I've been playing around with the developer version, and there is definitely a lot of great stuff on the way. But instead of focusing on what's coming in the future, I wanted to make a video about some of the brilliant things your Mac can already do right now, features that most people have no idea about. So in this video, I'm going to share 10 of those with you. Okay, let's get into it. If you're anything like me, when you're handed a receipt or an appointment card, your first instinct is probably to take a photo of it with your iPhone and then throw the paper away. But the problem is, I usually forget all about it afterwards. So here's a really handy tip that makes use of the Photos app on your Mac. On the left-hand side of the Photos app, under Collections, there's a section called Utilities. If you click into that, you'll see a couple of options, Receipts and Handwriting, and they do exactly what you'd expect. Receipts will automatically gather together any images that your Mac thinks are receipts. Handwriting does the same for anything it detects with handwritten text. In this example, I've taken a photo of an appointment card, and if I double-click the image to open it, all the info that I need is right there. But the clever bit is in the bottom right corner, where you'll see a live text button. If you click on that, your Mac will highlight all the text that it can find in the photo. You can then copy and paste that text somewhere else if you need to. But there's more. In the bottom left of the image, you'll often see smart suggestions based on what's been identified. So in this case, my Mac has found a phone number and a date. I can click on the phone number and it'll use my iPhone to make the call, routed through my Mac. Or I can click on the date and I'll get a little preview of my calendar for that day and time. If I've got availability, I can add the event straight in. This feature gets even better with macOS 26, which is due out in a couple of months, because it'll soon be able to fill most of this out for you automatically. But even as it stands, this is a really smart way to make use of the Photos app. Here's a really useful Safari shortcut that I think everyone should know. Let's say you've searched for something on Google, clicked a result, and then followed a few more links from that page. Before you know it, you're several clicks deep and quite far away from your original search. Now, if you want to get back to those search results, the obvious way is to press the back button a few times. But there is a much quicker way. Just press Command, Option, and S on your keyboard. That will instantly snap you back to your most recent Google search results, so you can carry on browsing without all the clicking. By the way, do you ever find yourself watching videos like this, picking up loads of useful Mac tips, but then completely forgetting them when you actually need them? If that sounds familiar, you should definitely check out my new training portal, Mac Essentials Plus. It's the follow-up to the iPhone Essentials Plus portal that I launched earlier this year, and the idea is really simple. You log in, choose a module that covers a particular area of your Mac, and inside each module, you'll find short, focused lessons. Every lesson comes with a video walkthrough, a step-by-step guide with screenshots, and a downloadable PDF, so however you like to learn, you're covered. There are already over 200 lessons in the portal, and more are being added regularly. I'm also in the process of updating everything to make sure it's ready for macOS Tahoe when that launches later this year. No ads, no sponsors, just content. And it's available for a one-time price. No subscription, no ongoing monthly payments. And if you want to go even further, you can bundle it with the iPhone Essentials course to get the best deal possible. If you're interested, just scan the QR code on screen or follow the link in the video description or the pinned comment. This is another really useful Safari tip that's easy to miss. You probably already know that you can head up to the menu bar, click on History, and view your full browsing history from there. But just above that, there's another option called Recently Closed, and it is well worth a look. Recently Closed does exactly what it sounds like. It shows you a list of tabs or windows that you've closed recently. Unlike the main history section, which lists every single page that you visited in strict order, this one gives you a broader view. So it's more about the sessions or overall pages that you had open. It's really helpful if you remember having a tab open yesterday, for example, but you didn't bookmark it and you just can't remember the exact web address. Just pop into the Recently Closed menu and with a bit of luck, you'll be able to jump straight back to where you left off. If you've ever planned a route using the Maps app on your Mac and then realized you've got to go and recreate the whole thing on your iPhone just to use it in the car, don't. There is a much easier way. You can actually send a route straight from your Mac to your iPhone. The easiest way that I've found to do this is to make sure that your iPhone is nearby and that the Maps app is open on it. Then once you've created your route on the Mac, just look for the share button in the top right corner of the Maps window. Click that and you'll see a list of all your devices. Pick your iPhone from the list and the exact route that you just planned will be sent straight to your phone. It'll be ready and waiting for you to hit go as soon as you're in the car. No need to start again from scratch. So your Mac comes with a whole range of brilliant accessibility features, things like VoiceOver, Zoom, hover text, the accessibility keyboard, voice control, and live speech. These tools can make a big difference if you have specific accessibility needs, but they're also just really helpful in general. What a lot of people don't realize is that you don't have to go digging into system settings every single time that you want to turn one of these on or off. Instead, you can add accessibility shortcuts directly to your menu bar or control center, or both if you prefer. To do this, open System Settings and choose Control Center from the sidebar on the left. Scroll down to the Other Modules section and look for accessibility shortcuts. From here, you can choose to show this in the menu bar, in Control Center, or both. If you add it to the menu bar, you'll see a little accessibility icon appear at the top of your screen. Click on it and you'll get quick access to a list of features that you can toggle on and off, plus shortcuts and a link to the full accessibility settings. If you choose to show it in Control Center instead, just click the Control Center icon, scroll to the bottom, and you'll see accessibility there with the same quick options. It's a simple change that makes these powerful features much easier to use day to day. One thing that still surprises me is how often people open loads of separate Finder windows on their Mac. So for example, if you've got a file in one folder and you want to drag it into another, most people go to File, then New Finder window, and end up with multiple windows cluttering up their screen. That might be fine if you're using a big external display, but on a MacBook, it can get cramped really quickly. A much better way to do this is to just work with Finder tabs instead. So with one Finder window open, press Command and T on your keyboard. That opens a new tab inside the same window, just like opening a new tab in Safari or Chrome. You can do this as many times as you like, with each tab pointing to a different folder or location on your Mac. Then, if you want to move a file, just find it in one tab, drag it across to the tab for the destination folder, and drop it in. It's quick, clean, and keeps your desktop much less cluttered. Something Apple added recently to the iPhone is a default app section in Settings, where you can set things like your default email client, browser, passwords app, and so on. But on the Mac, it's not quite as tidy because there's no single place to manage all of it. Instead, you'll need to change each one individually, depending on what you're updating. So, let me show you how. To change your default web browser, open System Settings and choose Desktop and Dock from the sidebar on the left. I have no idea why it's tucked away in here, but scroll about halfway down and you'll see an option called Default Web Browser. Click the drop-down to switch from Safari to something else, like Chrome or Firefox. For your default email app, the process is slightly different. First, you'll need to have your third-party email app installed. Then open the built-in Mail app. Go to Mail in the top left corner of the screen and choose Settings. In the General tab, you'll see an option for Default Email Reader. Click on that and you can pick your preferred email app from the list. Finally, if you want to change your default password manager, go back into System Settings, choose General, then tap into Passwords and Autofill. Under the Autofill From section, you can choose between Apple's built-in password tool or a third-party app, depending on what you use. It isn't quite as neat and centralized as it is on the iPhone, but with these steps, you can still take control of which apps your Mac uses by default. If you've ever opened the Passwords app on your Mac to check a saved password, you'll know that you can just hover over the password to reveal it. And if you need to paste it somewhere, a quick right-click gives you the option to copy it. But what if you need to type that password manually on another device, and copying and pasting isn't an option? Instead of squinting at the tiny text in the main passwords view, there is a much better way to see it. Just right-click on the password and choose Show in Large Type. This will open a separate window with the password displayed in much bigger, clearer text. Even better, it uses color coding to help you distinguish different types of characters. Lowercase letters, uppercase letters, numbers and symbols each appear in a different color. It makes reading and typing out the password so much easier, especially if it's a long or complex one. If you're using Safari to do some research, here's a really useful tip that goes beyond just bookmarking pages. Instead of saving links one by one, press Command and P on your keyboard. That'll bring up the print dialog for the page that you're viewing. But don't worry, we're not actually going to print anything. At the bottom of the print window, look for the PDF button. Click on that, then choose Save as PDF. Give your file a name, choose where to save it on your Mac, and that page will now be saved as a proper PDF document. Now, here's where it gets even better. Open the Notes app and create a new note. You can do this either as you go or all in one go at the end of your session. Then just drag your saved PDF into the note. There are two big reasons why this is so useful. First, you can annotate the PDF right inside Notes using Markup. Just click the drop-down next to the file name and choose Markup. From there, you can use the pen tool to highlight, scribble notes, or draw. And if you've got an iPad on the same iCloud account, you can even open it there to annotate with your Apple Pencil. Second, PDFs inside the Notes app are searchable. So if you're trying to find a specific passage or detail later on, you can just search for it like you would with a regular note, and it will take you straight to the relevant section. It's a great way to stay organized and keep all of your research in one place. This final tip ties in nicely with the one before because I've found that a lot of people don't really know how Markup works on the Mac or how powerful it can be. So let me walk you through a few handy Markup tools using the same PDF example that we used in the previous tip. So to open Markup, just head into Notes, click the little arrow next to your PDF and choose Markup. A new window will open with a toolbar across the top. The squiggle icon on the left is your pen tool. You can use this to draw freehand on the PDF, maybe circling something important. But here's the clever bit. If you draw a shape, like a circle or a square, macOS will recognize it and give you the option to neaten it up. Just underneath the squiggle icon, you'll see a preview of your original version and a cleaned up version. Click between the two, choose whichever looks best. Now, if you want to highlight text, you'll need to use the proper highlighter tool. That's the icon just to the left of the signature button. If you skip this step and just select the text, it does look like you've highlighted it, but it will disappear as soon as you click away. So make sure that you click the highlighter first, then select your text. You can also choose your highlight color, and if you make a mistake, just press Command and Z to undo it. And finally, click into the Shapes tool. You'll see all the usual options: arrows, squares, circles, but there are two more useful ones near the bottom. The first one is a spotlight tool. Click it, then drag a box around the area that you want to highlight. Everything outside the box dims slightly, making your selected area stand out more. The second is the loop tool, which works like a magnifying glass. Drop it over any part of your PDF, and you can adjust its size with the blue handle and change the zoom level using the green one. It's a great way to draw attention to specific details in a document. So if you're not already using Markup, it is well worth exploring, especially when working with PDFs in the Notes app. So there you go, 10 things your Mac can do right now that I reckon most people have no idea about. What about you? Were there any tips here that caught you by surprise? Let me know in the comments. And if there's something that you think I should have included but didn't, drop that in the comments as well. And as ever, if you found this video useful, do please consider leaving me a like and subscribing to the channel for more content like this in the future. See you on the next video.